Alright, there's finally some information on the Sacred Guardian Arcana that is coming out in Korea soon, so let's take a look at that. All this is in Korean, so we are going to translate all that and figure out what it says, including the information for the 7 skills that come with the talent. And this is just the trailer. So, with God's love, Lola. Lola, who faithfully follows the gracious love of Limerak, she preaches the grace of God of love to the whole world. Okay. Sacred Guard Lola. Are you interested in what the Limerak has to say? I am so happy that another brother has come to his enlightenment. A shield that protects the battlefield. Sacred Guard. This is an arcana for the tank position that combines blessing talents based with warrior talents. So it's going to be a combination of the Holy Arts talent and the warrior talent. Oh, and these are like the stages, so when you use Smoldering Thread to unlock the 10 stages. So here you can just see like all the stages and like what they do. We have stage 1 through 4 here, and then 5 through 10. So there are 7 skills for the Sacred Guardian Arcana, and we have the first one here. You can see what it looks like. And this one's called Sanctuary Unfolding. This battlefield declares itself the domain of the Sacred Guard. So how to use: upon casting, the shield is immediately slammed down, dealing damage proportional to the defense of nearby enemies. At the same time, it causes enemies on the battlefield to focus their attention on you for a certain period of time. Because of its huge presence, even if other disturbances come in, the stolen gaze does not return. The master of this sanctuary will not be stunned or knocked down when attacked. So again, that's what it looks like. The character is slamming the shield down. And you can also see that they're getting attacked and they're not getting knocked down. And then we have the second skill. Momentary Provocation. No enemy dares take their eyes off the Sacred Guard's territory. So how to use: designate an area and attack enemies in that area proportional to their defense. At this time, the attacked enemy will have their gaze momentarily stolen and focus on the caster. You can only designate the area to attack within the range of influence of the skill's Sanctuary deployment. And you can see what that looks like here. So that green mark on the ground shows like the range of it, and then the enemies go from attacking their friend to attacking the caster. You can see that. Let's look at the third skill. Noble Sacrifice. The sacrifice of those at the forefront will protect all comrades on this battlefield. So how to use: uses Noble Sacrifice on allies gathered around the caster. Afterwards, when an ally is attacked during combat, some of the damage is transferred to the caster, but it is not all transferred at once, but rather divided and received continuously. The more allies affected by Noble Sacrifice, the more defense and magic defense the caster receives. So we can see what that looks like here. Then we have our next skill. Fees. Not sure if that's supposed to say freeze or fees. That might be a translation error. The rushing shield is as daunting as crashing into a huge wall. So how to use. Instantly arrive in front of enemies at a certain distance and powerfully push them forward with the shield you are holding. Attacked enemies within range will gather in front of the shield and fall down. If you don't fall, you'll be stiff for a moment. Affected by charge damage, attack power, and defense power. So here you can see what that looks like. The character's like over here, and then they go in front of the enemies in an instant, like the skill says, and it knocks them down. And then next we have this skill. Hit an iron wall. A shield swung with great strength can instantly break the enemy's morale. So how to use. Swings the shield to attack enemies within a certain range in front of the caster. At this time, enemies hit by the shield will have their defense, magic defense, protection, and magic protection reduced by the impact. The impact increases the more times they are hit. Windmill damage is affected by attack power and defense power. And here you can see what the skill looks like. So they're the enemies, and then the character is swinging their shield to the left. And pushing them back a little. And then next we have Judgment Strike. All that will be returned to the enemy who stands before the shield is a cruel judgment. How to use. Slams the shield down to strike enemies within a certain range centered around the caster, and enemies struck have their movement speed reduced for a short time. Windmill damage is affected by attack power and defense power. The application range is affected by the windmill range. If you are hit first by the Iron Wall Slam, the damage increases based on the number of hits. So here you can see the character slamming their shield down and then knocking all of the enemies over. And last we have this skill. This is the 7th one. Retribution of Sacrifice. The momentum of the Sacred Guard moving across the battlefield causes all enemies to cower. So how to use. Enemies around you will become stiff immediately when the skill is cast. At the same time, the continuous damage inflicted by the skill Noble Sacrifice is temporarily suspended, and damage proportional to the accumulated damage of allies through Noble Sacrifice is inflicted. Affected by sacrifice points and defense gained through Noble Sacrifice, duration is affected by magic shield duration. So those are the 7 skills that come with this new talent. This new arcana. Oh right, and this part's actually translated already. So this part has its own soundtrack called Hide Me in Your Arms. So, a new candidate for Arcana, Lola, highly regarded for her outstanding faith, even in the Knights Templar. She had thought that she would live a life of faith, following and serving the words of... Okay, so they actually should have picked a different font color for this. So let's highlight this so it's easier to read. Following and serving the words of God of Love, Limerak, but a new destiny has come to her. Why did the Holy See send this trustworthy talent to the Arcana Association? And let's watch the trailer for this. Really quick, let's get some subtitles. Some closed captioning. We can auto-translate that to English so we can understand what they're saying. There we go.
나의 굳건함과
May my steadfastness and mighty strength be blessed with the holy blessing, and may I protect all that is with me. The first tanker arcana, Sacred Guard. Mabinogi Blockbuster, so yeah, that's part of the Blockbuster update. So there it is, that's the trailer for the Sacred Guard or Sacred Guardian Talent.